because I've struggled. I struggle with many things, apparently. Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Kelly, also known as RowRow and Kades, and this podcast is all about everything I've been knitting and designing over the last couple of weeks. 3 weeks this time because we've skipped one, or maybe it's 4 weeks. I think it's 3. I don't know. But welcome. This is episode 72. So I missed an episode, like I've just said, purely because I was working on the MKal, and I had said before that I'd be doing the MKal, and if I managed to fit any other work in, that I would do a podcast. So the first week or whatever it was, I was able to do episode 71 because I was working on other stuff. But then after that it was just MKal, and I couldn't really, I could have worked on other things, but I had secret knitting to do, so I couldn't show you that. Secret knitting for magazine designs. So as a result, I didn't do the podcast because it was just pointless. It was literally just MKal. So, which leads me straight on to my finished object. And it is my MKal, which I absolutely love. This is my Go Dynamo shawl. I will take it off and show you it properly. So for those of you who didn't watch the MKal vlogs, this is the latest MKal design by Stephen West, Mystery Knit Along, and it is the Go Dynamo shawl, and honestly it's huge and it's just stunning. So I'm never going to be able to fit it all on. Sorry, the ragborn man has come past my house. I'm never going to be able to fit it all on the screen. I will put some pictures up for you so you can see it. So I'll put those in now. Okay, so here it is all blocked. No. Keep going. Oi. Yeah, that is it. Like, as it in, I can't speak. That is it in its entirety in the pictures, because it's impossible for me to show you on here. So the way it works, like I started doing the MKal when it was shawlography, which was the one with all the loops. That, in all honesty, my shawlography is still in a box, with all its ends waiting to be blocked. It's finished. I really need to sort it out, and I will. So that's my shawlography. Then it was Twists and Turns, which I really didn't like the finished shawl, and I ended up giving it to my mother-in-law, and I've never seen it again. So she seemed like she liked it, but I've never seen her wear it. So whether she can't figure out how to put it on or something, I don't know. And then, what was after that? Oh yes, the Geo Gradient, which I have finished. I only recently finished it, like in June, July sort of time. I finally got it done. It's blocked, but it curls because I haven't put the tassels on the end. I probably need to. It's not my favourite. I will wear it, but yeah, it's quite a thick one, to be honest. All of those, the shawlography, out of all of those 3, the shawlography was the most fun. But even that, there was parts of it where I was like, ugh. This has been so much fun. My only part I didn't like was the triangles, and that was purely because you knit them sideways and you go back and forth, and it's all short rows, and I just kept losing count. And you have to count so much to get them in. As a result, my earlier ones, which are the ones down here, aren't there? No, it's these ones. These are the earlier ones. They're actually thinner you can't tell to look at them, but they are thinner than when you get, say, around here. Once I'd like, oh, you can tell there, look. Once I'd figured out the pattern, you can see that they're wider. You can't tell by a quick glance, but you can. So as a result, I ended up with an extra couple of triangles on the end. I think at least the last two, but possibly the last, well, no, it must be the last two, it wasn't 4. So 2 extra triangles, but it worked out okay. I figured it out. The shawl itself is, you start here, so you cast on these things and then you join them up and you work down, you do the triangles, and then you come back up and pick up this section and work this, and then you work this wavy edge if you want. That's like an optional part. It does have mohair in it, so I did my mohair. He recommends doing your mohair with your contrasting colour, but because my contrasting colour was a rainbow, I picked my mohair to match my main colour, not realising that it was supposed to match your contrasting colour, because it's a mystery. So although he recommended using the mohair as your contrasting colour on the brioche sections, which are also optional as an eyelet thing you can do as well, I used it as my main colour. So my brioche has mohair as the main colour. It's just mohair held on its own, so that's why the colour is really fat and the main colour stripes are quite thin. And then to use up my mohair, I just put it in the edging. So my edge, my wavy edge, all the main colour is held double with mohair. It's quite hard to see. You can see it on the end there. I just love it. So the yarn I used was Wool Warehouse Yarnsmiths. Yarnsmiths Merino sock, and I used the Parchment colourway, which is like a crew colour, but it just shows up like grey on camera, which is quite annoying because it's not. It's like to be honest, now it's knitted and it's all blocked and everything, it kind of does just look like a pale grey, but it was supposed to be like an off-white. But it is kind of, because when I'm looking in the camera there, that's looking quite exact. So yeah, it's called Parchment anyway. And then it was the leftovers from my Truly Hooked Advent from 2023 last year, which was at the All Things Bright and Beautiful Advent. I did add extra colours in, this one here, and hang on, this one. Cuddlebums colours from a set that I had, just to try and bulk out the colours because I didn't think I'd have enough, but I've got some left over, so I did have enough. So I didn't need to add them in, which I'm a bit gutted that I did. I did exactly the same on my Polka Cats jumper and I didn't need to add them in, so it's quite frustrating that I've done it twice now and didn't need to, but you just never know, do you? So it's not worth the risk. And I think they blend in quite well. So yeah, there we go. That is my Go Dynamo shawl. There is a fix that I need to do, and whether I get around to doing it or whether I just ignore it and leave it now is another thing. My cat needs to go out, 1 second. But basically, my first set of bubbles, as they're called, which is these, you kind of have to wrap the yarn around and like hook it up, and you can see it better on the reverse. But you can see how the yarn is picked up along the back, and I did this for a certain length of time and then for some reason didn't anymore, and the whole rest of that row I didn't do it. I don't know why. So they are like bubbles, 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 and then they're kind of like squares to the rest. but in the grand scheme of it, I don't think you can, I can't even see, I don't think you can really tell all that much anymore, and I don't know if I care enough, like now that it's done, to faff about with a crochet hook and try and pick them up and tighten them up and all the rest of it. I love it as it is, and yeah, I don't see the point. I don't see the point in faffing, really. So that is Go Dynamo. It is the most fun MKal that I've done. I really recommend it. Like, especially if you can do it and take your time and not have to panic. So the other, I don't have a lot to show you because MKal, but the other thing that I was working on and have worked on is another finished object, and that is these. So Hobbii had messaged and asked if I would like to try out their new upcycled alpaca silk yarn, which is a 4-ply yarn. It's limited edition because it's basically strands of alpaca and silk that are like left on the floor of the factory, and they've picked them up and put them into the yarn. So it is limited edition on that basis. Whether they keep bringing it out once they've got more of that, I would hope so. It's a really beautiful soft yarn, and it's like silky smooth. It's lovely. I don't have a proper full review video on here for it, because the timeline was so fast that they wanted me to do things in, but I basically needed to unbox the yarn, and then unbox the yarn, show a work in progress, and then show it finished in the space of 3 weeks, and I just didn't have time to do that and film a video about what I thought of it. These are now blocked, so the last video, which is a reel on Instagram, this one's blocked, but this one isn't, and you can tell, but now it's blocked and it looks so much better. So I've knitted, I don't think I can get this on with, so I've knitted an Athenaeum hat. So those of you who have followed me for a while and have some of my patterns, you'll know there's the Athenaeum socks, which I'll pop a picture up. Athenaeum is like another name for like a big like library type place. Carla told me, she is a librarian. Carla from Sew Knit Create Repeat had said it reminds her of books on shelves, and what about the name Athenaeum for the socks, and I loved that. So I decided ages ago I was going to do an Athenaeum hat and never got around to it, and then when they gave me this yarn I was like, oh, that's quite spot on for it. So I did it in this colour, which is 09, I think it's called charcoal grey, and then I also used this one. Now this one's slightly smaller because I was testing the smaller size and I have a massive head. But this one is in, I think it's 02, I think, which is dusty pink. I think it's 02. Anyway, so you just have this like rib with the breakup and then the crown. I've got a bobble on this one. But yeah, I love it. I will be getting it in testing very soon, like very soon. And getting that pattern out. I might also do it in a DK yarn if I can get a nice DK yarn. But yes, so the Athenaeum hat will be coming, and this yarn is lovely, but it is limited edition. So if you decide you're going to get some, you need to make sure you've got enough yarn for your project, because you might go back and it's gone. These are literally one ball, and this one, which is the slightly bigger one, really pushed the skein, it was a ball, really pushed it to its limit. I literally had about this much left when I was done. So you can get a hat out of a ball though, and this is the biggest size hat. I have a big head. My head is 58 centimeters, which I don't know what that is in inches. I'll put it on the screen, but yeah, I have a big head, so this would be the size that most people would want, I would think. And it is this also was obviously, the big one's 1 ball, so this is 1 ball, and yeah, I don't really know what else to say. It's lovely. So that pattern will be coming out very soon, once I get it through testing. And that yarn, have a look at it on the Hobbii website. It's very nice. There's not a lot of colours. I think there's literally 9 colours. I think this was the last colour in the spectrum of colours. So yeah, that is that. I do have this sitting here, which is my Broken Wing shawl by Jorge Locatelli. I haven't done any work on it. It's literally there because I need to pick it back up. And it was just like to remind me, so I just chucked it on my desk. My desk is just an absolute state at the minute, so there's just stuff everywhere. There's 2 other things I've been working on. One is my summer sorrel, which I've just been doing the occasional row. So there's not a lot to show you, so I'm not going to bother just yet. It's just round and round in the stocking stitch. The other thing I've been working on, and I'm halfway through a round. Oh no, I'm not. I did finish the round. Is me blankie. My crocheted blanket. So the last time you see me, I was where the marker is. So it's kind of growing. I mean, it's not blanket size yet. It'd be baby blanket size though. So yeah, I've done, how many rows have I done? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rounds since you last seen me. It's kind of like I just want to chill. Oh, I'll pick that up. It's kind of that, but I can't watch anything on the TV substantial at all. Like last night I was watching Love is Blind because I don't have to watch the screen all the time while I was crocheting. But I really love this. I really love it. And it's going to be really weighty because it's Aran. It's going to be really weighty. When I was working with it last night, I was already starting to struggle with the weight on my legs, so God help me when it gets, because I'm not even into the second balls yet. So I don't know whether I'm going to end up going into the second balls at this rate because they don't look like they've hardly been touched. Look, this is the one that I was working from last night. Still got the hook in it. And so far that one has done 3 rounds. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 rounds, and I've still got that much left. And yeah, they're all pretty full. So I don't know, but I know that obviously each round gets longer, so you're using up more yarn. So therefore you might need to go into the second ball. I don't know, but I do know that I'm loving working on it. It's really bringing me joy, and that makes a change because I've struggled. I struggle with many things, apparently. I struggle lately with finding things that just bring me joy. This brought me joy. I think the colours helped though. I don't know. I feel like everything I've got on the nails I'm like, nah, about. Can't be bothered with. But anyway, that's bringing me joy. So that's it. That's all I've been doing, because obviously it's October is just so MKal and knitting magazine patterns heavy, like submission heavy. The October batters me. It really does batter me every year. I should probably not do the MKal. It might be a bit more relaxing, but it's kind of fun. So I do it. I'm going to have a slurp of tea and then I'm going to tell you some other things. So, I mentioned last episode, I think, that I was working on the Into the Meadow socks, if you remember, and I was saying that I wasn't too certain on the colour, on the yarn. I don't think, the yarn is beautiful, but I don't think it works well with this pattern. I think it hides it too much. And I said I was going to talk to my patrons about it, which I did. So we had a little voting thing go on, and the patrons chose, which I haven't balled. I haven't balled it up yet, but we chose this one, which is LayFamily Yarn, and it's actually called Meadowland. I've had this for a little while. I think I got it from Yarndale last year, so 2023 Yarndale. Yeah, and I think that's going to work much better. So I need to ball that up and get those back on the needles and get that pattern done and out, because that was the choice for the pattern for me to design in October, and it just didn't happen. So I'm sorry, patrons, but it didn't happen. So that's on the cards. I'm going to do that. The other thing I've got, which I'm going to use for them, is a new needle. So I got this, the Karbons, KnitPro Karbons. I got 2.25. I was looking for one of these while I was in Yarndale, but they didn't have that size. They did have Karbons, but they didn't have this size. Now this is a bit more pricey than I would normally pay for a needle, but it was recommended to me by Diane, who came with us to Yarndale. Now I have an issue in that I have lots of different sock needles. So I did have wooden ones and metal ones, and I was really enjoying the wooden ones until I kept snapping them. I snapped a couple of symphonies, and then I had Lee K driftwood ones, which are such a beautiful looking needle. But one of them splintered immediately, and the other one a couple of months later splintered exactly the same way. Like, they splinter diagonally across the needle. And I was just like while you're working the split, I'm obviously very rough, I get that, and I'm not blaming the needle. Obviously, wooden needles are not for me. So, and my most favourite needle, bizarrely, is it there? No, I think it's on something. Oh, it's on something. But my most favourite needle is a Prim needle that I have, which is 2.5 millimetre. I think that's a US 1.5. And I find with wood they get too hot, and the needles end up, the stitches end up sticking to the needles. For me personally, this is my personal experience of me and needles. They get too hot, and then the stitches end up sticking to the needle, and that annoys me when I'm like going, oh, get up the needle. That just drives me bonkers. Metal I love, I do hands down love metal, but after a certain length of time I find that some needles get like little metal catches on the tips, and then the stitches can catch, like, I'm talking like a long time, but you get that, and you get the little rough bit, or they're too slippy and the stitches fly off, or like, I don't know, I have a couple of KnitPros. I have Novas, I do like my Novas, which is the ones with the pink cable, but I also have Zings, and I have one pair of Zings that's been chucked in that drawer because, so that I don't use it, because the shift between the needle and then the cable, that bump is just so big, I can't get the stitches over, and it just, by the time I finished knitting with them, my fingers are sore. You know when you push the skin on your and it goes behind your nail too much, like it starts to get sore because you've pushed your skin down and you're like pulling your nail away from your skin essentially. That's what ends up happening. It starts to really hurt. It has a T on the end. Hurt. So I put that in the drawer because I'm like, I can't use that. I should really just throw it away. But part of me is like, but it's a needle. I have a couple of them, but I just find them, they can have that bit of a, it's a bit too much to get over that lump. I was talking about this to Yarndale. This is a very long-winded way of telling you. I was talking about this to Yarndale and I was saying I just want to try a new needle. I just want something different. And my favourite is Prim, but the Prim don't come any lower, any smaller than the 2.5. And I like a 2.25 for my socks. That is what I knit the majority of my socks on. They go on a 2.25. So, Diane said to me, have you tried, if you like Prim, have you tried KnitPro Karbons? And I was like, no, I've never heard of them. So we started looking in Yarndale. It doesn't want to come out the packet. Started looking in Yarndale and they just didn't have a 2.25, and so I ended up getting one off Amazon. I know, but I wanted it. They're not cheap. They're not cheap. This was probably 11 or 12 pounds, and I normally pay about 7 or 8, so not a massive amount different, but still. Now, I don't mind paying 11 or 12 pound for something if this is going to be smooth and if I'm going to like this. And just feeling that so far, I'm like, ooh, me like it. Do you know what I mean? So I will report back and let you know, and tell me if you have Karbons and what you think of them, because yeah, like I'm really excited to use this. And if it's as good as I'm expecting it to be, I will be getting more no matter the price, because it's worth it, isn't it? I think it's worth paying for a decent knitting needle rather than going through a load of blooming rubbish with a cheap one. Don't get me wrong, I have loads of cheap knitting needles, and if they do the job, they do the job. But I think socks, it's just a little bit different because they're so small. And when you're like trying to push those tiny stitches over that bit and your fingers are getting sore, and then the stitches are catching on ends because they're a bit like lumpy, and then the needles are like splitting because they're like made of wood and they just can't handle your strength. Like, yeah, like it's just not worth the faff, is it? So that's what I did. I've absolutely destroyed that packet getting them out. They're not going back anyway. But yes, so I'm going to cast on my Into the Meadow socks with that needle. I need to ball up. Why do I always say I need to skein up? Skein up a ball of yarn. I don't. I need to ball up a skein of yarn. Yes, I do. Anything else to tell you? I have my dispersion gloves are finally blocking. They were supposed to have been released so long ago. I'm rubbish. I'm absolutely rubbish. So they're now blocking, and I am getting them released next week, I promise. So that's the dispersion gloves, which are a colour work glove. They're in DK, nice and cosy. They come in fingerless gloves or mittens. And I can't show you because of blocking, but I am going to get them released. I think that's it. I think I have nothing else to tell you because I've done naff all but this for weeks. But, oh, I got a whiff of soak. Celebration soak. Lovely. It's right there. It was off this though. I can't smell the bottle from there. No. I would like to give a warm welcome to my newest patrons, which is Elena, who's been teaching me lots about my fish. Liz, nice to have you, Liz, and Sylvie, who's already a member of my Discord and is lovely to have her on board with Patreon as well. So really, really lovely to have you all over. Thank you very much for joining me. And yeah, I hope you have lots of fun in Patreon and Discord. Make sure you get into Discord, because I think the problem with Patreon is I can't do everything that I need to do on there. So it has to link up to my Discord, and then there's lots going on in the Discord. What are we doing in Patreon at the minute? We are... The new Nups stitch marker has just gone up. Their monthly exclusive, which is a mug of latte this month to be nice and cosy for November. We are going to be choosing the photo, the front cover photo for my dispersion gloves. Once I've finished blocking them and photographed them, they will be picking that out this month. What else is happening? They have their own crafting vlog, and one just went up. So I'm currently recording the first half of November. So they get like 2 weeks in a crafting vlog, but it's just what I craft. It's not like life to life stuff. It's like behind the scenes type thing of what I'm crafting and what I'm up to. So they've had that recently, and they'll have a new one in a couple of weeks. Yeah. I can't think of anything else that's happening at the minute. It's the start of the month, so it's kind of like, here's your vlog, here's your stitch marker, here's your codes for buying patterns, getting your free pattern and things. So yeah, I'm like, what else have I done? I can't remember. But yes, welcome to the new ones. It's lovely, lovely to have you. You will see your name at the end of this episode. And yeah, thank you everybody for watching and for sticking with me while my brain melts. Hopefully next episode I will have more to show you. I'm going to try and get that broken wing shawl work done. I'm going to try and get my summer sorrel done. I also really want to cast on my Coco jumper, which is one of my Make 9. I want to get that cast on. I've got the yarn and everything to do it. I can't get gauge, so I'm going to have to work out like a gauge that I can work with and work out my size. So I'll have to do that. But other than that, I want to get that cast on. But I've also got some Christmas knitting to do, which I never do. But my sister-in-law would really like some socks, and I've knitted her socks before and she really likes them. And then I haven't for a couple of years, but I said to her this year, would you like knitted socks? And she was like, yeah. So, and her new partner, she wants me to make some for him. So I'm going to have to get some Christmas knitting done, but that's fine. That's fine. As long as they're appreciated, I don't mind. So that's me. I'm out. I will catch you in the next one. I can't remember what video is coming up next week. But I've got a couple of reviews I need to do, include one of a pattern, a crochet pattern, which I really need to get on with. I just haven't had time, and one of some yarn that I need to do from Shapier's. So it could be one of them. It could be something totally different. I don't know. I need to do Ravelry Russian roulette again as well, because it's so much fun. So on that note, I will see you in the next episode, whatever that may be. And if you don't stick around for those ones, I will see you in episode 73. Yes. Anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for coming in and having a chat with me. It's lovely. And I will see you soon. Bye.